Okay, the first article that I posted here is very interesting. It's the app that we planned to use last week but replaced with software. So Good Bubble is one of the easy way to develop an app, except they have changed the registration where users need to put their credit card number. How to start an app, 8 steps for you to take. Yeah, so let's go through some of the steps. So previously, it's quite technical. We have this SDLC kind of approach. Here is more layman term. Okay, number one, it says you do the research. Okay, similar in your design classes. This is the kind of research that you need to do. I will not go through all the sentences. Just go through what the interesting one. Okay, so in your design classes, we have this external factor. SWOT have two components. One is your internal factor, strength and weaknesses is your own controllable factor. Opportunity and threat is usually external factor, which includes your competitor. So if you are publishing any kind of app, you have to look at existing app. What are the most popular? What are the most downloaded apps in the iOS and Android? So you compare and see where you stand. Okay, what kind of product that will actually can penetrate the market. So if you look at Android, there's too many apps already. Same goes with your web design. If you look at the number of URL in the world, there's too many of it. So if you want to publish another website, you have to think of some kind of uh, the bang factor, okay, the wow factor that will make your content stand out. Same goes here. You have the wow factor that you need to introduce. Okay, what else? What are the customers saying in social media, right? Or in Malaysia, we call it as netizen. What are the netizen opinion? What are your unique selling point, your strength, USP? Okay, so those are the same kind of thing that you come across in your AD classes. Next, you have to pitch. Okay, next, these are the type of outcome, either it's native, hybrid, multiple platform, single platform. Okay, so this one will be covered in the slide again. So we have native, which is specifically designed for a specific platform. We have hybrid, which is for web-based. What else? Okay, number four, maybe how to get income from the app. When you publish an app, how to get income out of the app other than getting payment from the client. So let's say this app is not for any client. This app is your company want to produce an app not for any client, so you must get an income out of the app. So the most common model is putting advertisement, but most users don't like advertisement. If a lot of advertisement appears in your app, usually the user will uninstall it and move on to free apps. No ads app. Okay, so other than putting advertisement, which is popular among Android developer, for iOS maybe you see less advertisement, but for Android, if it's a free app, usually there's a lot of uncontrollable advertisement. In your desktop, we have pop blocker. For apps, maybe slightly difficult to find a pop blocker for the app that appear within the app. Okay, if it appears on your mobile web browser, fine. But if it appears on your app, like your social media app, maybe different. Okay, it's slightly tricky. So the app is almost uncontrollable. You have to remove the app totally and find an app without ads, free ads. Okay, other than that, they have freemium app. Freemium. Initially you install, it works fine, and then you start navigating some of the function, you find that it requires you to pay before you can download, for example, okay, before you can export to certain format, you have to pay. And then we have the premium paid app, okay, before you can even install, you have to pay for it. After pay, then you can install. In-app purchase, this one is usually very common among games where they sell digital goodies in their game, in-app purchases. Subscription, okay, this one more on entertainment. You can download, for example, movie channel or movie app, but for certain movie you have to pay before you can see the movie. And many other type of monetization. So to get money out of an app, that's the way that you can go through. Yeah. So one of these strategy may be suitable for your apps. Next, marketing. Okay, this is part of your skill. Other than designing, you have to do marketing as well. Design and advertising and marketing usually goes together in most agencies. In advertising and marketing. So you do the design, but at the same time, you do the marketing. So there are many types of marketing. We have, for example, here it says branding, PR, public relation, pre-launch effort, outreach, overall web presence, social media presence. So those are the kind of marketing before you launch your app online. Plan for App Store optimization. Okay, this one, if you already publish, these are certain rules or best practices that make your app more optimized to be discovered. Okay, just like in last semester, I asked you what are the proper URL for your website. You design the website, but if you don't put a proper URL, you might be ranked lower in the search engine result. Same here, if you follow the practice, you might rank higher in the search result of the store. So if you want to name your app, these are the best practice. 50 characters for iOS, 30 for Android. Last semester we have mentioned 15 characters for your URL. If you put more than that, you get less mark for your quiz. So one of the quiz questions I asked, what are the name, what are the proper URL for your website if you are going to publish. Next, icon. So we have gone through the exercise where you have to put your icon for good bubble and softer. Softer seems like have some of you in iOS have problem where your softer account, uh, softer app, when you publish and put it in your home screen, it doesn't display your personalized icon. Okay, maybe you can remove it, restart your iPhone, and then add again, add to home, maybe it will appear. Sometimes you need to Google the problem. You can say app launcher icon does not change in iOS. Can you look for some of the solution because some of you have this problem. Your iPhone does not update to the design icon that you put as the launcher icon. Okay, next screenshot. When you read reviews in Apple Store or Google Play Store, usually it have screenshot of the important screen in your search result. Yeah? So you click the name of the app, it has screenshot. All of these play parts in optimization of the Play Store marketing. Yeah. So if you want to launch it, fine. But if you don't follow these rules, you will rank lower in the Play Store. Okay, next, know your resources. Okay, so these are some of the stages that you might come across in some of our assignment. if you produce any software, usually we have this MVP. MVP. If you look at sport, maybe MVP is most valuable player. Here is the opposite. Not most valuable, it's minimum viable product. With this budget, what are the minimum kind of product is acceptable for you to give as trial version for your user? Minimum, yeah, minimum acceptable by the user and does not cause any problem on your side and their side, yeah? Technically or in the marketing, we call it as this viable product. And then we have wireframing. Wireframing simply put the placeholder of your layout without any proper visual yet. You don't have the final visual, so you put wireframe. This is the placeholder for icon. This is a placeholder for picture. This is a placeholder for video. So we have wireframing. Then we have programming and language selection, coding, and many more. So number 8, security. Now we'll have one lecture on security. Last Wednesday you have that topic which is interesting. Security for Android and iOS. Okay, next article, which is quite interesting as well. If it's not interesting for you, try to make it interesting. Go from good bubble to another article written somewhere last year. Okay, it says something about SDLC and the variation of SDLC. Okay, so in the previous slide, one of it is talking about agile and waterfall. Okay, so this variation of SDLC is discussed in this article. Yeah? Okay, so SDLC model can be either waterfall model, which is one of the earliest model. Then we have other most common model. This one is not common. The common one is waterfall and agile. That is the most common among most developer for mobile. But now it's agile. The most of the industry developer they use agile model. So we need to go through what are the characteristics of agile model. Okay, so the first one is waterfall model because it looks like a waterfall. If you search the diagram quickly, what is waterfall model? Okay, so waterfall model is because the diagram itself looks like a waterfall. Okay, so after one stage, you proceed with another. Okay, so here I randomly take at one of the diagram. After you finish with one stage, you move on to the next one. Move on to the next one after you finish until the end. And maybe there's an arrow coming back to other stages. Okay, so waterfall model is very common way because it's coming from the manufacturing industry. In factory, usually after one stage, let's say you are producing a car, first produce the cases, then painting, then put the component, then what else? The fitting, and then finally you got a complete car produced. So it's quite common. You don't go reverse. After cases, painting, you don't go back reverse, repair back cases. No. Okay. After cases, painting, and then move on to the next one. You don't go reverse. The reverse means something wrong with your overall planning. Yeah. So waterfall model is one of the very common, but now it's overtaken by agile model. So let's have a look at this video. What is agile methodology? It's a 6-minute video. 6 minutes. Okay, now it's 6 o'clock. Okay, so bear with me. Let's play the video. As I mentioned last week, no need for a break. If you want to go for a break, just go out a while. We'll take attendance somewhere around after the video. Okay? After 6 minutes. You let me stop the recording first. It's always